Hello, my loves. I'm Ellie Frost. Thank you so much for being here. We're talking about a multidimensional approach that rapidly and radically heals you from narcissistic abuse, gets you into your sovereignty, authentic power, and creating your best life, right? Someone said about manifestation, because my dogs are going crazy, my energy's up. Manifestation, someone was saying, well, is that in line with the divine, right? God puts the desires in your heart. God puts your purpose on this planet not to be in suffering, right? But when you heal, you start wanting things. You want to do things, experience things, be a certain way in alignment with your values. That comes straight from God, right? So manifestation to me is a co-creation with the divine, yeah? And it requires co-creation with the divine, because manifestation, when you create your life, is partly relying on a higher power to help you through things. Faith does not happen as faith is not an SOS. Faith isn't rescue me. Faith is I act in faith. I trust God. Manifestation is this is my desire from my heart, not my ego. I teach this in different levels, different things, but true desire comes from the heart, straight from the divine into your heart. You co-create it with God and the universe, right? And then you act in faith. There's no faith until you have to act in faith, right? So if you say, I have faith in God, but he's not rescuing me, you're not acting in faith, and I'll get you there. But keep watching. But I want to talk about the trauma of injustice. This is one of the biggest traumas we have, sorry, my dog just ran. Everyone's hyper. I'm not stopping them because I don't want to ruin their vibe, they're playing. But so the trauma of injustice is how unfair this is. This shouldn't have happened to me. This shouldn't have happened to me. It can be really hard to imagine how this has happened. I remember feeling like that. Like, I've been such a good person. How is this just? How is this fair? Why is no one doing anything about this? Why does no one know about this? Why can't I heal? Why is nothing healing me? I've already put so much money into trying to invest. Now I'm living in a trailer. I'm broke. I can't afford groceries. How is this fair? After all the good I've done, after all the people I've helped, after all the money I've made, how is this fair? How is this fair? How is this fair? How is this fair? This question will keep you trapped. The hardest thing in our healing journey is going to be to forgive. I do not ever teach you to forget, and I never teach you to forgive the behavior. I'm not here to accept unacceptable behavior. I'm here to forgive the person. In my definition and what I teach you and take you through, forgiveness is just letting go. It means I set us both free. My work on forgiveness is I set us both free. Because you're not free until you can let it go. Not let it go in terms of the forgetting, not let it go in terms of you deny your reality and what you've been through. I'm here to tell you everything I've been through, because I'm never going to have my reality taken away from me again. I know what I went through. I know what happened to me. And guess what? I don't have to use it as something to diminish my life. I can use it actually as a part of my life where I still get to be lovable. I still get to be abundant. I still get to be me. Yeah, shame lives in the shadows, and when you're not afraid to own everything you are and stop needing to be perfect, then things can work out. Leaders don't need to be perfect. We need to go first and lead strongly with courage and bravery. I'm braver, I'm stronger, I've got a lot more courage, right, than some of the other people around me, which is why I go first. It's not because I'm better than you. I just decided to be braver than you. Yeah? You can be as brave as I am easily. That's all leadership is courage and bravery to go first. I'm willing to lead. I'm willing to lead myself. And leadership comes with self-leadership, leading ourselves. So this injustice thing, right? It's not fair. It should never have happened. It's diabolically unacceptable. But the only way we're going to change it is when we ourselves, each of us individually, sovereignly, have zero tolerance to it by not consenting, not tolerating, not putting up with it. If you're co-parenting, I made a video for you before, right? Sometimes you've got to treat it like a business thing, that there are these demons and I have to just treat it in a certain way, but I let my life force be siphoned and I heal. If you focus on your healing, then from there you can be someone who contributes to the planet in a new way. But when you're broken down, you're so depleted. There's not much you can do from there. So we've got to work on our emotional intelligence, our energetic strengthening, right? Our spiritual wholeness, yeah? And our psychic, emotional, physical, and energetic sovereignty. And from there, and from a healed place, you can heal the world. Not all hurt people hurt people. Some hurt people come together and change the motherfucking world. But you can't do it when you're broken. You can't do it when you're not, when you're saying it's so unfair that you're not going to take radical responsibility. The one thing I did, and I was in terrible poverty, couldn't afford groceries. I'm living in a trailer, didn't even know if I could keep affording to have a roof over my head, no car, walk into the grocery store over an hour, well, 50 minutes in the heat, if I could afford, it was diabolical for me. No welfare, no right to housing. I'm in a foreign country, no right to a job. I have to make it work in my business at a time when my PTSD is off the charts, no sleep for months on end. I know how hard it can be, right? And every time I made money, which I did because I started using my modality that I teach you on me, yeah? My abundance started going up every penny I put in my personal development. And guess what? None of it really worked. Or pieces of it did. And I got links and I started merging them together, integrating them together. And then I understood how to create something that was for people like me who can't concentrate, who can't sit in deep meditation. The mind is racing too much, who have a high level of PTSD, who just need a short bite-sized things of what works and a different perspective to radically shift them. And that's what I create. Everything I say to you on this channel is me talking to me in the worst times of my life, because I know it would have shifted me. Everything I share, the Sovereign program, is the thing for me. I made it for me. I made it because it took me years. I made it because every penny I had, I put in personal development, and I spent a lot of money, and I would put it in personal development over a very base level of eating and surviving in life, just so that I would find it. I never gave up. I was braver. I was stronger. I was committed. I was resilient. You don't have to be that resilient, because I found something that will help you. And that's why I'm dedicated to sharing it to the masses, not just what other people do, to people who've like, don't make any mistake. Rich people go through narcissistic abuse. I've got many clients that are wealthy. They might not be in poverty over it, but they're still getting financial chains by the narcissist, emotional chains, physical chains, all the things you go through. So don't think that someone who's rich doesn't have a complete amount of suffering from narcissistic abuse. They don't have the same survival, am I going to be homeless things that I went through, and some of you might be scared of, right? But I have plenty of wealthy clients that are broken down. Yeah, my thing is, everyone on the planet needs to have this work. Everyone on the planet, I don't believe we should tolerate for a minute, but it does come from a self-responsibility and self-leadership of you deciding your time is now, your life is worth it. I'm telling you, there's a way for you to rapidly heal. It doesn't matter how long it's taken you. It doesn't matter what you've tried before, but it does take a commitment from you. It does take self-leadership, and you have to say, there's a trauma that's associated with the injustice. It is unfair. But when we're in this mode of the injustice trauma, it's like, why should I have to put my money in this? Why should I have to put my time in this? Why should I have to spend my life doing this? Because your life matters. It's unfair. It's so unfair what happened to you, but your life matters. And the only time your life is going to matter enough is when you say, my life matters enough. I said in the worst times of my life, but my life still matters. I know what it feels like to be completely feeling like you don't even want to live. But still, I had to make a decision. And it's just a decision. My life matters. Why would I go through this when it's so unfair? Why would I continue? Why would I try? Why would I heal? Why would I even imagine my life could get better? Because I have to make a decision that my life does matter. Enough. You matter. Your life matters. You're here for a reason. Your life matters. You are on the planet for more than suffering. You know there's more than this, right? It is unfair, but we don't change it from how unfair it is. We change it from being sovereign, and then you will be guided to do things that make a difference. You'll be a living, breathing example, even if it was just to one person, of how it can be different. You will be the possibility that shifts someone else. I knew that by speaking this. If one person changes, it's a ripple effect, because that person will meet other people, and suddenly there's a possibility in the universe that didn't exist. So here I am showing you a possibility that doesn't exist, that is now available to you. And every time you heal, every time you choose differently, every time you think differently, every time you make a shift, you make that possibility bigger for the rest of us, right? It matters. You matter. Your ripple effect matters. Everything you think and do about this matters. Every time you say it's too unjust, I'm not healing, that is not good for you, for me, or for the others. You're talking to you and to me, the version of me that was desperate, that was impoverished, that was just broken. You're talking to all of us. So remember, we matter. It is unjust, but we don't change it from there, right? Let it go. We've got to let it go. We let it go. We do not forgive it. We do not forget it, but we let it the fuck go, because we matter. Our lives matter. And we get to be an example. You want to show your children, you want to show your friends, you want to show your communities life gets much better than this. I will show you, I will lead that for you, I will model that for you. But remember, it's on you. I know it's unfair. You still got to take responsibility. Be a good student. Invest your money in your growth. I mean it. Like, I know that might sound like, I don't care. People can judge me all they fucking like. The fact is this, right? I know how I got here. I know what it took, and it took a radical responsibility, self-leadership, and investment in my time, money, and resources in myself. That's what it was, right? That's the truth. And like, there's no other way. But what I'm saying to you is there are things that work. When I was doing it, there was nothing that worked. Not much. I mean, there were things that worked, but I couldn't put them together. So I'm saying to you, it's going to require self-leadership. It's not going to require you sitting there disqualifying yourself from transformation if you don't have the money to invest. Just listen to these videos over and over again, because when you expand your abundance frequency, then you get more resources. But when you get resources, make sure you put them in the right place. I stayed in that trailer for years after I had consistent money coming in. I didn't change my living situation. I didn't even get a car. I've got a car now. I didn't have one for another, I don't know, couple of years beyond that. I still grew. I still invested. I knew what got me through, and I wanted to grow even more so I could lead you, right? I knew it would take me more. I knew that I'd have to be healed enough, not just to get over my trauma and disconnect, but to be able to emotionally reconnect to everything I've been through, so you can feel the intensity. I'd have to relive it with you so that you know it comes from a raw space in me. So believe me, I didn't stop. I still invest in my growth. I still invest in my growth more than I invest in luxuries, more than I invest in necessities. I eat now, and I have a good standard of life, but I still know what got me here. I don't take it for granted. I didn't see it as a quick fix. I see evolution and growth over my lifetime as the most important thing I'll ever do, as my key purpose on the planet, because it's what makes me a better person. And when you talk about, like, how did I connect with the divine? I started asking better prayers. I stopped staying in the injustice trauma, and I started saying, make me better. Show me how to be a better person. Your priorities have to change, right? It's not fair what happened to you. It's not fair. But we're not going to heal it from there. Yeah? All right, my loves. Lots of love. I'll speak to you soon.